Hello there, my gorgeous design divas and gentlemen on Facebook. Hello there to my wonderfuls on Instagram. It's so good to see you. I missed you last week. We had a little technical problem. Wasn't fun. I missed you. I'm glad to be back. Now, for those of you who were with me 2 weeks ago, you know that I made a whole thing about, we're going to get to a design topic, I promise, but I made a whole thing about the fact that we were doing, or I was doing, this massive closet clean out, getting ready for the new year, and I had gotten rid of a red sweater because I don't wear the color red. Boots, shoes, gloves, yes, I'm all in on the red, but not on the upper half. But then I thought, you know what? Talking about a Christmas related topic today, maybe I should give red one more shot. So before this sweater, like worn maybe once or twice, made it to the donation bin, I farmed it out. Don't worry, the donation bin is getting plenty of stuff. But in case you're watching this thinking, hey, I thought you got rid of the red sweater. This is the red sweater. I'm going to decide after today if it's going to stick in the closet or move on. Anyway, enough about me. Hi, I'm Donna Hoffman. It's so good to be here with you. They call me the Interior Design Advocate because I advocate on behalf of design lovers everywhere to empower you to do remarkable things in your home, to surprise yourself with what you can do. You are so much more talented. You are so much smarter, more capable than you realize, but you are missing design strategy. And that is why when I'm not running my luxury interior design company, I am teaching and coaching design lovers across the country in how to be brilliant and genius in your own homes. So here's the story. Here's what you need to know. Oh, little problem on Instagram. Don't know what to say there, Steve. It's down. I don't know. Here, I'll let you play with it. Hold on, technical problems. It wouldn't be alive if we didn't have some technical problems. Anyway, today we are talking about holiday things. We're talking about, for those of you who are my late to the game, didn't get it done yet, peeps, and you're trying to think about how you can add more holiday beauty to your home, especially if you live in a state where, in the United States, where there's been more lockdown, or maybe there's health issues for you to, worry about in your family. Hold on, Facebook, hold the phone. If you're concerned about all of that, and if you're not going to be having a lot of family around, well, we're going to talk about how to beautify your kitchen. So we're going to talk about beautifying your kitchen with a quick facelift for the holidays. Hi, Instagram. We had a little problem going live there. Hope I'm live now. I'm Donna Hoffman. Good to see you. Hang on, Facebook. They call me the Interior Design Advocate because I empower design lovers across the globe and beyond with gorgeous design strategy to make fabulous things happen in your home. You guys already heard this. We are talking today about holiday, Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year's, the holidays. We are Kwanzaa. We're talking about making your kitchen beautiful for the holidays. Now, for a lot of you right now, with the pandemic, you're not having your big crowd in that you might normally have. You might be having some immediate family in. You might just be you, not just, might be you solo and gorgeous. It might be you and your hubs or your significant other. What can you do in your kitchen to really design more beauty for the holidays, the holiday feeling, without feeling like you have just cluttered up a cluttered mess in your kitchen? So I want to share with you some things that we in the design community think about when we're doing some holiday design, especially in the kitchen. So here's what I love about doing the holiday vibe in your kitchen. You spend so much time in that space. It's where you have breakfast, lunch, dinner. It's where you do your cooking. You start your day, you kind of almost end your day there, right? So when you add holiday beauty to that area, you really feel it. It really adds a lift for you. And as I'm teaching, when I'm about to teach, if you have a favorite holiday something that you like to do in your kitchen, type it in so I can read it out and share it with everyone. All of the design brains that are here today, we can do some idea sharing. And then I will take your general project questions. My gift to you, you don't have to be on topic. I'll take any design question that you have on your gorgeous head, as long as I don't need to see a picture to be able to answer it well. So here we go. Sip of coffee and then we go. Yum. All right, so when it comes to designing, facelifting your kitchen for the holidays, infusing a little holiday deco beauty in there, there are a couple of things you need to know about the kitchen in general. because it's such a high functioning space, my nose is so itchy today. I don't know what that is. Is that good luck, bad luck? Somebody's talking about you. Weather's changing. I don't know. When you think about the kitchen, it is the most easily cluttered space in your home, other than your home office. It seems to be the place where we just dump stuff, right? It's all the mail, the bills that need to be handled, the catalogs, the refrigerator magnets, the reminder to call the doctor's office for your results on your whatever. So there's just stuff everywhere. Not to mention the small appliances, the gadgets, the cooking utensils, and whatever decorative paraphernalia you might have in there already. So kitchens can very easily become these kind of cluttered messes. And then don't forget you've got these fixed elements that can be kind of bulky, right? The fixed appliances, the refrigerator, the dishwasher, the sinks, the faucets. There's just a lot going on. So a great thing to think about when you're adding holiday decor to any space in your home, but especially the kitchen, you want to think about editing first. So the basic rule is if something goes in, something should come out. Always, maybe not always, let's say 90% of the time, especially in the kitchen. If something goes in, something should come out. A mistake that some really excited DIYers make is that they just start adding. The garland comes out, the stuff comes out, and things are just being added for the holidays. So the first thing you want to think about doing is creating space to edit. So this is a great time of year to start tossing and pitching things from inside your drawers, inside your cabinets, so that you don't have to stuff your cabinets when I tell you to do step 2, which is temporarily move small appliances that you don't use every single day, store them beneath the cabinets. And if you don't have room in the cabinets, maybe they go into a closet or a basement or something, or guest room for a time. So the small appliances, the blender, the toaster oven, those things that you don't use every day, leave the coffee maker out, but you want to start to edit out some of those smaller appliances. They're not beautiful and you don't use them every day. Also, the utensil holder with all the utensils sticking out of it, better to get those into a drawer because of what you want to add in for the holidays. So you're trying to kind of cleanse the palette. Before you do this though, get out your iPhone and take a shot of whatever your kitchen is in its normal state, so that when it's time to put it all back together, you can even hand that picture to your son or your teenage daughter or your hubs and say, hey, let's put this back together. This is where I'd like everything, please. So you have an automatic record of where things should be, you know, post holiday when you're putting everything back together. So the first thing you want to do is edit. And then you want to do that prepping, right? Where you're prepping the space to have the, well, I should say, first you want to prep to edit everything out. You want to make room for things to leave. And then you want to style. So when you talk about styling with home decor or holiday decor, it's the same set of strategies that you use. And you break those strategies down into what are you styling? How are you styling things? And where are you styling them? Where are you placing them? I'm not going to do a big lesson now on how to style because I need a lot of visual support for you. But let's drill down more on where you are placing things, right? Because with all accessories, and this includes holiday accessorization, you always want to think about creating a movement of something, visual weight, and then you want to think about a rest, because the eye needs to keep skipping across your kitchen, right? So you need to let there be some empty spaces. Every space cannot be filled with every Christmas card and holiday card that you've received and all the refrigerator magnets. You've got to just start to kind of cleanse the palette a little bit so that you can create your beautiful vignettes. Now, there is nothing wrong with keeping some key appliances like the coffee maker out, like I said, but you might want to add some holiday decor near that coffee maker. That's fine, but you're going to use the coffee maker as part of the balance and weight of whatever it is you're building with your accessorization. So you want to keep asking yourself, have I put in too much? Do I need to put in less holiday decor? Do I need to edit out some of my other items to make room for some of the holiday decor I want to bring in? So let's say you've cleared off maybe 25 to 30% of your kitchen counters from the normal day-to-day stuff, the pile of papers and these other items that we've mentioned. What kind of things do you want to add in for a quick, vibrant, fresh yum in the holidays? Well, I want you to think about the kind of materials you want to bring in. And if you want to do something exciting, think about some exciting material combinations. Here's some examples. Some great things to use in the kitchen when you're decorating at the holidays. Fruits are wonderful, vegetables are wonderful, plant material, and that also includes, garlands, greens, live plant material. So fruit, vegetables, plant material. Glass is great. Ornaments are fantastic to bring into a kitchen. We'll talk about that in a second. And candy is so good to bring into a kitchen at holiday time. So let's talk about some of those combinations. So, you can use fruit just to move color around, right? So if you are a Christmas color gal and you like reds, imagine having a 3-tiered something, dessert something, but on it you've done a layer of red apples, a layer of pomegranates, and then the top layer might be some pretty red pears standing up. But remember I said you can do some interesting combinations, unusual combinations. What if you did that same 3-tiered display, but rather than doing all fruit, mix fruit with a little bit of holiday ornament? So if the base of that display was your red apples, the middle section could be beautiful red round holiday Christmas balls. And then on the top, you could have your red pears. So now you're taking fruit and an ornament and you're kind of making it all one statement. Or it could be little white ornaments, round balls that are then stacked with your fruit. It looks so good when you start to do these interesting combinations of materials. So fruit stacks really well with glass ornaments. Fruit stack and fruits or vegetables, if it's a color thing that you're doing, also layers really well with greenery. So again, you might do on a cake stand, you might have some red pears, and then you might want to just add some greenery and just some dried, or not even dried, some evergreens cut from your own yard or things that you picked up at the market, and that just can be on that plate stand as sort of like a little cloud for the greenery, and then the pears are just sitting upright on top of that. So easy, so inexpensive. When you're done, you eat the pears and you toss the greens, right? So super easy, but think about combinations. It doesn't have to be all plant material or all fruit or all vegetables or all candy. So some other really beautiful things that I've done and have had and seen done. So candy, candy is really good if you want to do a color story. So a client of ours loves pink and white for her city look in her condo. So in her kitchen, we had her doing things with white and pink candy. So we had hurricane jars. One hurricane jar was filled with Good and Plenty, and we did separate out a bunch of pinks and a bunch of whites, and we did some layering. It was a little labor intensive, but it can be done. And you can also do, if you're like, let's say you want to do, maybe you're a green and white person for the holiday, for Christmas. So you could do 3 hurricane jars. One is filled with green foiled candy. Another one might be filled with, nonpareils. Nonpareils are those, chocolate with those little white dots on top. And then the third might be filled with Red Hots or whatever your fave candy is, or maybe candy canes, right? So candy layered into containers. They can be open bowls also, maybe pretty crystal bowls or pretty silver bowls, just filled to the brim. So you're making a color story with your different candies. But candy also layers really nice with glass. So what you can do is maybe there's one container that has just clear glass marbles in it. And then next to it, it might be all white chocolate, and then white chocolate kisses. And then in the next, which is silver. And then in the next one, you might have, I don't know, pick another color that you want to get in, either a green candy or a white candy to fill that out. So the lesson and takeaway is that when you want to do something fun in the kitchen, use food and these delicious somethings, these tempting somethings as part of your decoration. Don't feel like you have to just do all food in an area. It can be food and plant, or it can be candy and something glass or crystal. You can mix your materials. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And where you know, year round, when we talk about materials in decorating for accessorization, we talk about glass, metal, fabric, um, pottery, ceramic, book, right? We have different things that we talk about. Well, in the kitchen for holidays, great materials to use are plant, vegetable, glass, ornaments, and candies. Really great to use. Now, you can use baked goods, you can, but they just don't stay fresh on the counter for a couple of weeks. Whereas what I'm suggesting to you now would. Something else you can do that's really, really pretty. You can do a small wreath right at your kitchen window. If you have a window aligned right under your sink, a small wreath on that window is fabulous. You can also, near the coffee maker or near another appliance that you're keeping out, you can do a little clustering of something. You can do maybe two small, one mid-size, one small, conical shape, like Christmas tree shaped rosemary bushes. Home Depot, Lowe's, sometimes they just are giving those things away for a song. Not very pricey. The local green market sometimes is doing that sort of thing as well. So rather than buying one rosemary topiary, maybe you'll do two and have them kind of making a statement near an appliance that's a less beautiful appliance. Okay, so hopefully those tips will help you add a little fresh vibe to your kitchen for the holidays. And if you have a favorite kitchen tip that you would like to add for accessorizing at the holidays, by all means put that in. Happy to read that out. And if you have a question about a design project, since this was sort of a general topic, a soft topic, I will take your project questions happily now, as long as I don't need to see a picture to be able to answer you well. And while you're putting those in, putting in your comments about what you like to do in your kitchen, sharing your great ideas, or putting in your project question, I'll tell you what we have in store for you. So next week will be our last Facebook Live and Insta Live for the year, and that will be about the importance of light in your home. The importance of lighting in your home, or light in your home. We'll be talking about some important considerations for light in your home. So that will be next week, and then we'll have a couple weeks off for the year end, and then we'll have another fabulous year of great topics that we've put together for you. I'm getting hearts on that one. So we'll be back in 2021. So let's see who's here and what kind of things are on your gorgeous head. Let's see. So I'm getting all of my hellos. Yay. Ruth is happy to see me again. I'm happy to see you too. And hello to Missy and to Dawn. Thank you guys so much for your hellos. People are laughing about my red sweater story. Okay, I'll take the laugh. It's okay. Joe Collins is saying that I'm making her day. Joe, I'm so glad just by being here. I'm so glad. Marcel is saying I should keep this red sweater. I look good in red. We couldn't tune in live for you guys. I was saying I felt badly. I made such a big deal about how I did this brutal closet clean out, and I talked about getting rid of a red sweater that I'd only worn once or twice because I don't feel that I look good in red, and I don't feel good in red unless it's a red shoe or a red, handbag or a red pair of gloves. So I farmed this out of the giveaway pile after talking to you guys, and I thought I'm going to wear it today because I'm talking about Christmassy stuff. So that's why I'm getting some feedback. There you go. So anyway, so Margaret's liking the red sweater. Okay, enough. Okay, thank you so much about the red sweater. There it is. All right, so a lot of stuff on my red sweater. Okay, Cheryl is saying, what is the current look for kitchen curtains? Printed, plain, long valance? I feel mine just look dated, and I'm looking for a new option. Cheryl, Katie and I were just working on a kitchen design today. Some prints do become dated. Floral is making a comeback, I will tell you that. It has been for about a year and a half, 2 years, so I expect we could start to see more floral prints. I was really hesitant about doing arabesques in fabrics, and if you don't know what an arabesque is, remember this is a casual conversation. I don't get visual. Google that. Arabesque pattern. It's a pattern that kind of looks like that and repeats itself all the way down the line and all the way across. I think that it's not about it's about what's happening in the whole space, Cheryl, and it's about really the type of treatment that you're doing. In total kitchen, all window treatments. The trend for a few years now has been a simplification, right? That we don't see the swags and the tails called a jabot. I haven't seen that for a while. The big puffy balloons, right? Those have really been going more by the wayside. Do we still do them? Like I'll do like a balloon balance in a nursery in a very girly, glammy space, but for the most part, really doing much more simple things. So Cheryl, I would say that you want to do something in your kitchen to update it. Think about a tailored valance, straight across valance with maybe what's called a kick pleat at the side. If it's a big window, there might be an inverted pleat through the center. You might want to do something called a soft belly valance, where it's got a bit of a curve to it, but it's still not like puffy like a balloon. So I would think more about the shape, uh, and of course doing something that'll look great with everything else in your space. But I can't tell you that plain or printed is in or out. I mean, we were looking at this in this kitchen. We were actually looking to do something with pattern. So can't tell you that pattern is not a good choice. I think pattern's great. There are a lot of geometrics that are out there. I would say damask is a more dated look right now, but there are interesting damasks that once in a while that come down the pike, but that's probably not a super hot look right now. Hopefully, Cheryl, that has helped you. If you need a follow-up question, kiddo, please put that in. I'll happily answer that. Jen Gunya on Instagram is saying, any tips on decorating above your countertops? For the holidays, you can definitely do some garland up there, some greenery. Love that. You can do twinkle lights if you're a twinkle light kind of person. I prefer the twinkle lights wound down a staircase, down the railing, alone and combined with garland. I think that looks really pretty. I would do something simple, and I would ask yourself, do you have to decorate in front up on top of your cabinets? If you've been with me at all for any time, you know I'm not a huge fan of decorating above cabinets. I do it when I must, when a client insists. And if we can't take a cabinet to the ceiling, that's when there's that issue. And a lot of what we design today, those cabinets are going to the ceiling. But if you have a cabinet that's falling shy of that ceiling, I don't think decorating up there helps it look like it's going to the ceiling. If anything, I think you can call more attention to something that you are hoping to maybe not call attention to. If you're going to decorate up there, just know, let's say you did that garland across. You've now asked the eye to go up, but stop short of the ceiling and trail around your space. Ask yourself if that's something, if that's something you want to do. If it isn't, then you might be better off doing some faux, like some little miniature. I saw these adorable miniature Christmas trees. I think it was Home Goods. A little collection of those just in one central location above your cabinetry in your kitchen could be beautiful. But I wouldn't do it across the entire cabinetry. I would just find an area and then maybe do a little scene, maybe a little fake snow if you want to do a little Christmassy something up there, to a little village look up there. I'd have to see the kitchen and make sure there wasn't too much else happening. Hope that helps you. And if not, definitely put in a follow-up question if you need more. Okay, so Ruth is saying, if your nose itches, someone's coming with holes in their britches. Okay, there it is. I will be on the lookout. Sherry's saying, when your nose itches, you're going to kiss a fool. Wow, itchy nose is bad. Either way, maybe you end up kissing the fool with the holes in his britches. Don't marry that dude. Anyway, Celestial is saying, SMEG appliances look great on the counter. Okie dokie, I like it. Kathy Morrison Cox is saying, when your nose itches, you can smell an enemy. There's nothing good about a nose itching. Man, I should go see somebody about this. Alice is saying it's a great time to talk about Christmas decorations. Marcia is saying, do you have great pics of these ideas anywhere? Nope, I do not. I am so sorry, Marcia. James is saying, how are you? How can you help? I don't know what James is saying. Sorry, James. Ruth is saying, I've always told my husband that candy for the crystal dish is a decorating decision. In other words, Ruth is saying, Hubs, stop eating the candy. That's a tough one. That's a very tough one. I used to put candy out. This might have been mean of me. I used to put candy out as a decoration at Halloween time. And our kids, I would tell them, like, this is the stuff you eat. This is the decoration part. And we noticed that after dinner, the two of them, when they were little, would say, we're doing a little digestion walk. It's not really a digestion walk. And we'd hear giggling up in the living room where I had this little decorative Halloween thing. They ate all that stuff. Anyway, Kathy is saying, I hang two lit wreaths on my French doors in my kitchen. I love it. And a wreath on the back of the kitchen chairs tied on with ribbon. Kathy, I love that. Little miniature wreaths tied on the back of your chair, going all the way around your kitchen table on each of the dining chairs. I love that. So good. That is so good. Favorite idea that somebody has sent in. Joe says, I like to do cinnamon candles with holly cut from the yard all around it. I love that too. Just make sure you don't start a fire, but I do love that idea. Suzanne is saying, if I change to black doorknobs. Okay, now we're getting into a question. If I change to black doorknobs on the interior doors, do I need to change the brushed silver hinges too? Yeah, you do. Yes, you do. That's a nice, easy answer. Easy question. Ellen is saying, is there a rule of thumb for how many sconces you can use in one room? Yeah, well, I have used sconces around a picture over the fireplace, and I want to know if I can use another pair at the opposite wall at a diagonal. Ellen, I think that sconces are highly, highly decorative light fixtures. They are very often used to frame something, to make a statement on, sometimes, on either side of a mantle, and then there's just a setup in the middle of them, or in a hallway and there's nothing in between them, and they are just sort of holding court on a wall. There's a decorative something. I think the only time I really see in luxury interior design something that's elegant looking, I don't care what your design style is, but something that has a real upscale feeling to it. The only time I see sconces used in multiple in a room, it's a long corridor, it's a home gym, and they're cutting into the mirror, going across the space. Where else have I seen them done them where they look great in multiples? Home theater for sure, looks great. Put the movie posters in between, or nothing at all. But a room full of sconces, don't like it. I think it's going to look strange. I really do. And when you talk about a sconce above a painting, usually that's an art light, right? That I wouldn't call that necessarily a sconce. A sconce is really something that kind of on its own doesn't need anything near it to make its statement. But I've seen people hang sconces in some really weird locations. I knew a woman once, she lived in a fairly large home, and she had this 2-story vaulted family room. And then right in the peak of the vault, about, 18 inches below where that peak was, she hung a very nondescript sconce. That looked so odd to me. So I say use sconces carefully. And I'm designing a residence now where I know I need 4 sconces in a small, a 2-story vestibule that you enter when you enter this residence. And the client wants 2, when you walk in the door, you'll see these 2 flanking this big oval entry. And then when you way out, you see them on either side of the door, of the front door, this double door. To make an important statement, we're making them tall sconces. They're like 24-inch. It's got a shade and then a long tail. One we're looking at is 24 inches long. One is 36 inches long. I think when you're really deliberate about sconces in those ways, I think it can be very striking looking. There's no art happening in that space because the sconce becomes the art. So those are just a couple of things for you. Hope that helps you. If you have a follow-up question, please, please, please feel free to, send that back in there, Ellen, okay? I'll take your follow-up. Marina's saying, I love almost everything in my home with the exception of the honey oak cabinet, staircase, and trim everywhere. How can I incorporate cooler colors? Cooler colors. I would make sure those cooler colors have a bit of a gray undertone. That could help you there. Pam is saying something was a good question. I'm glad. Sarah is saying any Christmas kitchen decor that leans a little country French. Well, I think greenery always goes country French. Topiaries, the French kind of like synonymous with topiaries, right? Those beautiful carved and trimmed and cut gardens, clipped gardens of Europe, right? Versailles and such. So I would, if you're country French, I would lean into a lot of greenery and a lot of topiary. I would. And I would stay away from something that's shiny. I would go for probably some softer matte textures, or even if you do shine, let it be more of like an antiqued glass kind of something. That could be really pretty for you as well. Hopefully that helps you. Tracy Johnson wants to know, what are your thoughts about black interior doors? Love them, love them. We just did those in our design studio last year. Oh, such a game changer. So good. And I'll tell you what, guys, just because you do black doors does not mean that the trim has to go black. It doesn't mean that your crown or your base molding has to go black. It can, but it doesn't have to. I've done black doors where I did take the crown and base black as well in a beautiful tricked out powder room. Oh, so good. And we didn't have those black doors anywhere else in the residence, but when you walked into the bathroom, that's when everything got black on the trim and on the door. The exterior of the door was still white. So I think you should go for it and do it in a beautiful gloss. There is a beautiful black paint that, and you know me, I don't like to give out paint colors because if I don't know what else is going on in your home, I don't want to give you goofy advice or half advice, but Sherwin-Williams has a color called Tricorn Black. It is a beautiful black paint. It has a lot of blue in it. It's really vibrant and it looks so good as a black painted door. If you want something that's a little more graphite-y looking, there is a Sherwin color called, I think it's called Graphite. I don't know. I hope that's right. Katie's not here with me today. The part of Katie is being played by Steve Hoffman, and he would not know the paint that I'm talking about. I think it's Graphite. All right. So anyway, there it is, Tracy. Hope that works for you, kiddo. Audrey is saying, general undertone question regarding wood floors and wall color in the same room. Okay, it's going to be a good question. I can tell. Oh no, there's that itchy nose again. So what does that mean? I'm going to have a kiss a fool and somebody's going to show up with a hole in their pants. Am I supposed to keep the same undertone within a room or use a different undertone for a pop, i.e., if my first floor is warm, do I use warm undertone paint? So confused. Audrey, oh gosh, do I wish we were in a workshop right now. I just was talking to a young designer in my company about this very thing. She was doing a fabric pull for, I'm going to answer you in this analogous story, hopefully, and I'll wrap back to you, Audrey. So I had pulled rugs for an area, and I said, I'd like you to pull a fabric story. And some of the fabrics that she pulled to go with these rugs were just right on point. They're beautiful, and others looked really muddy because her undertones were clashing. We were having a problem. If you Google online a color wheel, you will see color spread around a wheel. There's a reason that the color is mapped out the way it is. It's actually a linear process, the way it's mapped out. And if you look at a more developed version of that color wheel, you'll see that the color gets lighter as it goes toward the center and darker as it goes to the center, lighter as it moves out. When it gets darker, you're adding the color black to it. When it's lightening up, you're adding some white to it. When you're dealing with undertones, it gets confusing because sometimes you're not just adding white or black to the color, sometimes you're adding another color to it. And that's where things can start to get muddy. So an undertone, that is when a color starts to lighten up, but it's on the same degree, the same direction of that color wheel, that's when you've got some real clean combinations happening. It's when you start to go to the right or the left, when you start to pick up red or you start to pick up yellow in your undertone or blue, and you lighten it and darken it, that's when things start to get muddy. I taught a great class on this at our Design Diva conference 2 years ago. It was amazing. It was a game changer for all the women in this class, and we were actually mixing paint colors. They were loving it, and they were amazing themselves. And I was having them mix tough colors, like mix beige, and they were using red, yellow, blue, black, and white. And they had to mix a certain color beige based upon a fabric I handed them. It really opened everyone's eyes about what undertone is. And the amazing thing about color and undertone is that until you learn it, it feels so confusing. But then once you do a simple lesson in it, once you see it, you can't unsee it. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. So Audrey, let me back this up. I don't know if any of this is making sense so far. So Audrey is saying, am I supposed to keep the same undertone within a room? Yes. Or should I use a different undertone for a pop of color? No, you respect the undertones that you're working with. It's a very general answer, but you can change the color or the saturation of a color. Need a live workshop to really teach you about color. Color is so much more logical and mathematical, yes, than you even realize it is. So Audrey, I wish I had you live here with me in a workshop. We'd be doing visuals. Oh, and Audrey's saying, yes, I wish I was in a workshop too with you. Let's do one, please. We have a lot planned for you in the coming years. I'll see if I can see if we can work that into the mix. Audrey, I did not do you justice in my answer because it's such a visual question, but such a brilliant question. So I'm sending you an apology hug right now on that one. Audrey, I don't know if you're one of my students, you can post pictures in the private group and our community can weigh in. My team weighs in as well. But if you're not in one of my courses, you don't have access to give us those pictures. But if you are, Audrey, I apologize if you are and I don't recognize your name. So there it is. So that's an option for you. And Audrey is saying, I am in undertone hell over here. Yep, I like I said, until you get it. Do you know, before I was a professional designer, before I had studied design, I was exactly where Audrey was. Color undertone made my knees knock. I just thought, what the heck is this? Is this a bunch of random crap? It is not random. It is so logical and linear. Once, like I said, once you see it, you'll never unsee it. So we'll see if maybe we have to do a course for you. Kathy is saying, so warm fabrics need a warm paint? Well, it's kind of hard, Kathy, to speak in these absolutes, because what if you have creamy walls? Creamy walls and really clean cream, you know, yeah, you could do a pure navy, a bright navy, or a grayed down navy. So, but if you had a navy on the wall that was a very clean, bright navy, you might want to keep your other paints in that kind of clean story as opposed to adding a lot of gray to those undertones. That makes sense? Again, guys, there is a reason I don't do color as a topic in these Facebook Lives, because these are conversations. They're not visual. They're not intended to be visual. It's really a chance for me to have a little fireside chat with you without the fire and the martini. So hopefully that helped you. You guys are brilliant in the questions you're asking me. Oh, Audrey said she is one student in CPR, design CPR, creating perfect rooms with accessories and decorating genius. Audrey, post pictures. You got a whole group of design divas, a whole team waiting to talk to you. That's good. Ellen Scott is saying, how do I sign up for CPR and Design Genius, the courses? Ellen, we just posted a link for you there to look at the course. If you like what you read about there, go to the blog. We have kept, thanks to COVID. Did anybody ever say thank you to COVID? I got other things to say to COVID, and it's not happy birthday. Anyway, we kept a 20% off coupon live through COVID. So if you want to buy one of my courses as a great Christmas present for yourself, do it, because right now that coupon is still live, 20% off. And that coupon can be found on the sidebar of our blog page. So I wouldn't buy the course without having that coupon, if you know that coupon's live. So there it is. Ellen's saying thanks, and Kathy's saying thanks. So I'm glad I'm helping people. Tracy is saying, is it necessary to understand floor plan scaling for interior decorating? Oh, you bet your bottom dollar it is. Oh my gosh. If you're going to spend money buying furniture, investing in the room, that you want it to look fabulous when it's all over, let me tell you something. You know when that starts? It doesn't start when you start shopping for your kitchen table. It doesn't start when you start by looking at pillow fabrics or window treatment fabrics. It starts when you're making your space plan, your measured space plan. Yes, you do it on paper first. Your measured plan tells you what will work and what won't work and why. It makes sourcing so much, which is shopping, so much faster and easier. And when you do it the right way, even though you're making a plan that looks two-dimensional, like you're floating up on a ceiling looking down, when you do it the right way with space plans, you will walk into that space three-dimensionally. I know there are programs where you can do that at a touch of a button, it'll 3D for you, but a lot of you don't have access to that kind of stuff. But I'm telling you, the most ignored and underrated design power tool by DIY design lovers is the measured space plan, because it's not sexy, it's not the fun part, it's not the pretty part. It's the most important foundational piece that you will do in any room. I don't care if you're starting a room from scratch. I don't care if you're replacing 20% of what's in the room. Make sure what you have in the room now is in the right location. Can you improve that location? You do that with your measured plan. And I teach this so simply and completely inside of my course, Decorating Genius System, 7 Simple Steps to Great Rooms. Whether you want to draw your plants by hand, whether you want to use an online program, doesn't matter. They are power tools. Steve Hoffman is telling me last 2 questions. I'm going, oh my gosh, I've gone way over. I think we're out of questions. I think this is good. I don't even have to call for last 2 questions. We did it. Okay, lovelies, listen. Next week, we are going to have our last group meetup like this before the end of the year, and the topic is a goodie, an important one. It's called The Importance of Light in Your Home. The importance of light in your home. If you missed any portion of this hopefully fabulous Facebook and Instagram live, you can always find us on YouTube. You can always find us. Definitely, subscribe to us there. I almost said prescribe, definitely tired. Subscribe to us there, to the channel. Leave a comment. Let us know how you like like what we're posting. I just shot a bunch of great video for 2021 for our YouTube channel. A lot of deliciousness coming to you. If you're not already following us at our design studio, want to see what we're doing in luxury design, the trouble we're making, the fun we're having, that's at IDH Designs. That's at IDH Designs. And if you're not already following us on my teaching brand at decorating.genius is for all of my online courses at decorating.genius. So there it is, lovelies. It's been so good being here with you. I'm sorry I missed you last week. I really missed you last week. I got a thrill being here with you. It's so good to see your gorgeousness. All right, guys, big hug to you. I will see you next week, 4 p.m. Tuesday. Okay, there it is. Bye, everybody. Hi, this is Donna. Thanks so much for watching. And if you like this video, please hit the like button and comment below so I know what you think. And don't forget to subscribe to the Interior Design Advocates channel so you don't miss any of our great content.